Hello and welcome to another edition of Toys from the Attic. For today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Titans Returns Bron. Now here's another character that I'm actually happy that they came out with because he looks like a nice modern version of the character. And almost like he stepped out of the original Generation 1 cartoon. I love all the detailing on his chest and even on his leg. It really helps add to the updated look of this guy. He has a good range of articulation too, although his head can only move side to side, which I'm going to kind of forgive because if you remember the original Bron's design, he always had this thing that was kind of going over his head, so he can never really look up anyways. There's a nice ball joint for the shoulders, however, you can't really get them all the way out just because of how they're molded, but because you can kind of move them up pretty easily, I can kind of give it a pass. There's a nice smooth ball joint right here for the elbow. There's no waist articulation, but you can get his hips all the way out and forward and back, so you can get him in some pretty good poses if you really wanted to. Another nice smooth thigh swivel right here. Yeah, I should say that's on a little bit of a mushroom cap right there. And then another nice knee bend right here. However, mine are getting a little bit loose, well, just mainly loose on this leg, so I'm probably going to have to put some floor polish in there. He does have these little pegs right here, or these little panels that slide out. Those are mostly just to keep him from actually falling backwards in his robot mode. I also like his gun too. You can kind of see these little exhaust vents right here. You can kind of pretend they're almost the barrels of his gun, so he has a nice triple barrel handgun right here. He also has these little holes right here, as you can see on the side of his arm, so you can, if you don't want him to actually hold his gun, you could actually just have him rest right on the side, almost kind of like Megatron. Or you could actually hold it like a proper pistol if you really wanted to, like. And going one step further, if you don't want to actually have him hold his gun, there's a nice hole right here on the back, so you can kind of just slide it right here, and it actually looks part of his natural transformation. Now, to transform this guy, speaking of which, we're going to actually fold his arms around like so. Get it right here. Move his shoulders up. Make sure everything snaps into place. Next, we're going to take his little ankle or heels right here, flip those all the way around. Lock both of these pegs, or this little peg right in here. Fold his legs all the way around. Let's just going to make sure everything. Probably going to take his gun off right now just for ease and just get it in there. And there you go. He's kind of transformed into a little Jeep vehicle mode. You can kind of leave him like this if you really wanted to. It just actually looks perfectly natural, even with the sloping back right here. Although if you really want to be accurate, there's two little slots right here, or little pegs right here that fit into two little slots right there. And now he looks a little bit more like that traditional Bron from the Generation 1 cartoon where he's this kind of boxy Jeep. He rolls very nicely, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know this table isn't the best for that, so that's actually saying something with how nicely he moves. Now, with all other Transformers Titans Returns vehicles, or these little vehicle guys, he does have a cockpit so you could stick a little Titan Master in there. In this case, I'm going to put Bron inside of Bron. A little Bronception right there. Now, here's one of my only other little issues is you can't really get this little peg right into that slot. It's just too hard to actually fit everything in there, and the little legs of the Titan Master are just too wobbly to kind of force it in there. And another thing too is this little hole where his gun is supposed to be stored in his robot mode if you don't want him to hold it. That can get in the way of the Titan Master head mode, so you got to make sure that he's a little bit forward or sitting in there just right. Now my little cockpit right here is a little loose, so if I'm not careful, this can actually open up and my little Titan Master can fall out. But those are kind of minor nitpicks. All in all, he's a pretty good little figure and a nice addition to your collection if you want to pick him up. So I would say if you see him on the toy shelves, snag him. Anyways, this has been a look at Transformers Titans Returns Bron.
Once again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you've seen today, please feel free to like, subscribe, or leave a comment below in the comment section. Any advice for the show will be greatly appreciated. Who knows, something you suggest may appear on the show in the future.